welcome to where the furniture isn't always the best, but them views, they are amazing.
It's a 13 for y'all. 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 It's a 13 for y'all.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are amazing. B. Jones in the building this week, and we got Faison with the taking the 2020 vision off and ready for 2021. What's up, bro?
Man, what a way to start the new year. Wow.
Yeah, right. We got a
Ain't
few things,
that
man.
the
We got
truth?
that.
Right? I was like, oh, this is gonna be an easy podcast tonight. Gonna have some good things. That went out the window very quick. So
It's
should
all
be
content.
fun. Should be fun. This is actually gonna be raw. I'm sure there'll be some comments later on, but listen, give it to them how you feel. Just drop it. So I'm good. I'm good. Georgia. How about Georgia?
How
Hey,
about
we can add,
Georgia?
you can add that on later on. So yes, way to go, Georgia.
Already on the tab, I'm sure.
Exactly. One of many. Coach K, you up next, man. What's happening, brother?
I'm here, brother. I'm here. Cool.
Excited? Just cooling? Like water?
Cooling like water. I refuse.
I'm with you.
Refuse to let their intentional actions distract me.
I'm with you. I'm with you. BJ, man, you good?
I'm gonna go with I'm cautiously optimistic right now, brother.
Cautiously optimistic. We're gonna get your take on that, man. I like that. That's a little bit of extra positivity to throw on this day of craziness and chaos.
Craziness all around, brother.
And 21 Fresh, what's happening?
You know how I go. Another beautiful day in Zamunda. We out here, sitting back watching. Just we here, man. Ain't nothing changed, but the one at the end
Ain't
of the
nothing,
year.
ain't nothing but change but 2 Senate seats in Georgia. Shout out to Georgia,
Run that.
Faison, Coach K,
Y'all did what
and
y'all had to
everybody
do.
else that did what
Congratulations,
they
man.
had to
Stepping up,
do.
baby.
Take full credit. 100%. Me and Stacey.
By himself.
Knock it
No
out.
days off.
Faison was doing hard campaigning out there for everybody.
Yeah, man, huge win in the midst of this chaos going on in DC. It's crazy. Has Stacey Abrams come
Hold
out?
on. Hold on. Because when I talk about the intentionality of these folks, right? I bet you if we didn't win Georgia, this wouldn't have happened today.
Hmm.
Because this was, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, you guys showed up to the polls, you voted, you got it done, you think you got some power. Let us show you what power is so you can feel small again.
Yeah.
Watch us, watch where we're gonna go, and watch what's gonna happen to us. Nothing. That shows you the power that we hold versus what you did. That's fine. Your right to vote is protected. You can go show up and do it. Let us show you what our rights are.
Yep. We'll
Because
walk
of
The other
right
thing is,
in, right
you didn't
into the center
see
of the Capitol.
you didn't see not one of those black people supporting Trump in nan one of them videos.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Not a
I was
one.
looking for it because when they had the rally some months ago, it was a good amount of them out
There
there.
was a good amount of them out there.
Yeah,
Not
they had a
today.
couple groups. Oh no, this was all about good old boys and
Not today because no,
ex
you guys can't go.
officers,
You're cool, but you
on
can't
break.
go with us.
Big facts.
It's even more disheartening, man, because you see all the comparisons. The National Guard presence a few months ago when you had the Black Lives Matter protests and everything else going on down there. I just, for the life of me, don't get where these politicians and where do they go from here? Because you've told the line so much, and you've had some that have jumped across the line to throw so much support for Trump or have Trump support them in whatever way. And now you have to come out and speak out against it, but only to a certain point. So you're gonna say, "Oh, Trump's got to go now." However, I have yet to see any coverage on any arrests. We know we got one fatality.
Hmm.
Still don't know where the shot came. I don't know where the shot came from. I've seen the video, but it was kind of crazy. But what it what will the real consequences be out of this entire situation? Because
This is gonna be a long, long time of sorting out and trying to understand because point blank period, everyone who went past the threshold of any gate should technically be arrested and charged.
Right.
How they're going to sort out and define what that goes through is going to be interesting because then that sets some type of weird precedent, right? That if they can then do that and not be jailed or prosecuted, however, they're going to figure out some way to allow that to be how they can, use that as fuel to do the same thing later on. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like it's going to be a long, interesting process. But then also, just like you're saying with all of the politicians that have been allowing and then sitting on the sideline as all of this started to take place. First off, 45 is a nut job and
Oh,
is a riot ensuer. He is like right there a ringleader of all of this, and it is fascinating to watch that they would allow somebody who is such a narcissist and such a just psychopath be able to do what he is doing right now. And I'm very curious to see if this 25th amendment is going to come into play and how it's going to work out.
Listen, we're going so far down the rabbit hole, and once you get so far down, you can't see the sun anymore. You can't see where you're going. This is all distraction. This is all distraction for something else. Something else happened today that we don't even know about. Something was taken, stolen, something, attention diverted, so something else can happen, and we're not going to know what it is. All we're stuck in is, the idiocy, the inequality. But I'm telling you, somebody needs to go follow the money because somewhere in there is something else, and this is just the distraction. Listen, I watched Triple X State of the Union. Um, if you ain't see that movie, it's hilarious. Go watch it. Ice Cube in it. But I'm telling you, there is something else up with all this, and everybody's gonna fall for the okey doke. And I'm just gonna sit there and watch.
what reference can we gain from that movie there, Carol? Because I haven't seen it, so I'm not even sure where you're going with that.
That was when they tried to take over the government,
Oh, okay.
and they were plotting and waiting on when they were gonna make the move, and they had certain people from certain officials were in on it and all this good stuff. I mean, just think about it, man. Oh, Brett, you and I have been to DC, right? Everybody here has been to DC
yep.
on a regular day. You walk out there and there's people everywhere. There's guards all over the place.
Especially
Especially
now. I
that's
mean, I don't understand how there wasn't. I don't understand how there wasn't more of a police presence. Get
How
I
rid
don't
did
of
you
the
make
understand there
guard.
wasn't a more of a police, National
Super
how did
Guard.
you
serious.
make it that far?
Right. I don't really understand it. I feel like there was a lot more at play than what meets the eye.
Look, there is zero chance that you could have had 100, let alone thousands of Black Lives Matters protesters, rioters, anybody else come walking even towards that grass that they wanted to have surrounded, you know what I mean, and immobilized quickly. You know what I mean? It's just like Carol said. There's always something else at play. There's always the magic. They're gonna show you this hand while they're over here. Pocketing the ace, and it's definitely interesting. It's crazy because it's not unexpected, but it's still just like jaw dropping to watch actually unfold. It's like what you anticipated, But then once you start to see it play out, and especially like I'm watching CNN and heard them say several times, and I quote, "We've never seen anything like this before." Hey, have you ever seen it? I've never seen anything like to be like that totally just like thrown on like they're just in the Capitol and they're in the Capitol. Like nobody's like going crazy. Nobody's like making sure nobody's and sure you're watching these cats wrestle with a gate with lines of cops going back and forth like repeatedly. Like no, like it was very interesting.
I'm telling you, banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah,
I promise you. Because here's the other thing: you're allowing people to broadcast this all over the world. You want to
everyone's
tell
seeing
me
this.
you want to tell me in the Capitol building and all these places that they don't have something they can turn on that just shuts everybody's cell phone down, no signal? What? You laughing? Think about it. We were there for the Million Man
Absolutely.
March for the 20th anniversary. Did we have phone signal?
Well, you got so much. It's like being at a football game. It's so much. What is it? EMT or
Yeah,
EF?
but if that's the case, how come all of a sudden miraculously now you got these dudes live streaming while they're walking through the Capitol? Yeah,
I
man,
did
we're in
say
the
that.
office.
I did
Like,
say
That's when
that.
you go back to
think about that.
intentionality.
Like
We were
live
talking.
and not like it was a news person. You were just talking about the dudes who are doing this.
Forget about Million Man March. We went for the second inauguration for President Obama. No phone signal. I'm telling you, man, calculated, strategic. Like I, as I'm sitting here, I don't even want to talk about this because it's just such a distraction, right? Like, yeah, I think you said it. You talked about, and or Art actually said, well, I thought it was going to be an easy one. The first one with all of us for a year, and we're going to talk about what we did after this year, follow up to last week's episode.
That
Yep.
was the plan.
Yep.
We over here talking about foolishness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it its due, man. I did think, especially when I saw the video of the young lady or whoever that did get shot, because it's almost as if the way it was recorded, it was like you knew
Yeah.
it was
Mhm.
about to happen. It's like why or how is that just
You
just
gotta stand at this
captured?
angle so you could get her falling into the other guy's arm.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I want to say maybe earlier in the week, um, I saw something about a Iranian capturing some vessel off the shore of South Korea in an attempt to for like retaliation from that bombing some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about all of the issues they've had with the transition of power, dissemination of information, and getting the transition going, with all of the chaos and everything that Trump is, trumping up in his leaving of office, perfect timing for any and everything to be going on or happen with the U.S. So,
See, I told y'all, check this out. So I'm sorry. I want to come back to that. Don't forget it, right?
oh, I was
But
going to leave this because I want to get back to what we really want to talk about, which is last week into this
if
week.
if if the 25th Amendment is enacted, then Pence is going to be acting president
For
until
12 days.
for 12 days. In that time, he can pardon Trump.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Listen now, the president can issue a pardon at any point after a crime is committed and before, during, or after criminal proceedings have taken place.
I just feel like that would be, unfortunately, political suicide. But we talking about people that, uh,
Yeah,
Political
he's not.
suicide.
He's
For who?
Pence is done. Pence
the
is
Who
done.
entire
yeah,
party. It's the entire party at this point.
Yeah, man.
all that talk about, oh, he's a traitor, and you know, VP Pence can set this right and do all that's just for show.
Hmm.
But anyway, we'll see how it pans out. By the time you all are listening to this, you all will either say that Carol dude is a conspiracy theorist, and I've said it before. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just a theorist.
Or he's a complete genius, and it's like, damn, how
Or
did he see this shit coming?
Right.
Or we're gonna be able to go and see the streams of Triple X have went up vastly because people have started.
Exponentially.
Oh my God, I gotta watch. Carol was right.
Add that to the movie list right alongside Watchmen. Anyway, moving right along. Carol, you gave us a great end to the new year. Setting up off of the Break Room podcast last week. Absolutely 2021 going in 2021 eyes. If you haven't caught that episode, go back and give it a listen because it's great motivation moving into the new year, especially when I love the way that you get into the vision boards and the New Year's resolutions and things like that, because that was absolutely something that we did. We did that together,
yep.
whatnot. And I was really thinking about that going into the new year because I'm like, damn, I had this vision board. So let me really see what I checked off the list, right?
Mhm.
Um, and got into it. Some things were accomplished, others not so much, or in progress, however you want to look at it. But I didn't listen to the break room until yesterday. But before then, I was heavily considering getting away from the mindset of I want to accomplish all of these things. I want to focus on one thing. And if I do that one thing, like you said during the break room, we're going to get through everything else. And for me, it was consistency, because consistency is really what's lacking. And I'll give you an example. Throughout the year, whether it be projects or exercise or being in tune with nature, spirituality, all of these things, they came in waves for me all throughout the year. And it would be up, I would be meditating strong for like 3 months straight, or I would be exercising strong for like 3 months straight. And when I look at that and reflect on it, it's like, okay, how do we string all of this together to get the best version of myself? How do I do that? And it's really like looking at how can I consistently do that? What's the one thing that I can do? And for me, it's making sure I'm up and out somewhere around 5 to 5:30 in the morning, getting good sleep at night. So I'm usually done by 10 or 11 o'clock these days. But that sets the tone for the rest of the day. And not only have I been more productive, and this starts coming into the new year. I believe in creating momentum, been more productive, in accomplishing whatever it is throughout the day. And it's really not that hard, especially when you look at what you will do for other people on a consistent basis. Like pushing yourself to do that for yourself is huge. So already having that mindset going into the new year, and then hearing the break room a couple or yesterday, it was like, damn, all the affirmation I needed. So I really want us to hone in on that together, put out there what we're doing, especially to drive that home, because it's so much more than what we see on the news every day, or what we may be encountering, like those distractions, the shit, the noise, really get out of that, especially when we think about where we were when COVID hit. Another thing that you hit on, 2020, everybody looking at it as like the year, and then COVID and the losses of life and all of this other stuff. Personally, I still feel like it was the year because of everything that was set up moving in to 2021 and taking advantage of the opportunities that presented themselves. So I know I said a whole lot and summed up a lot in there, but I really think it's really important. And go ahead, Fresh, you got it.
Well, I was gonna say one point. Definitely, it's funny that you brought up the waking up early, but I was literally talking to my mom about this a couple weeks ago. And it's something that going to the Brendan Bashard thing, but a lot of self help and motivational speakers, that time between like 5 and 8 in the morning is like the godly hours. Like you can get so much accomplished in those just simple 3 hours that you don't realize until you start doing just that. Like if you can make that dedication to getting up and active, you don't have to be out of the house, but if you start doing whatever you want to do at that time, especially if it's just like task. Yo, let me go ahead and run through some emails or do, you know what I mean? Those simple kind of things. You start blowing through stuff because you have no distractions. There's nothing new coming in. There's no, pretty much nobody else is up to be calling you or interrupting you. Your spouse isn't up to be asking you for something. Your kids aren't up. Like, it's the best time to be productive and have stuff to really set a tone for your day.
Listen, man, and the crazy thing is, Art, I'm gonna be real short, so keep it. Um, in that 3 hours, you will be more productive in that 3 hours than another 3 hours later on in the day.
It's so exactly. It's crazy how that happens. And it's all, but like you said, you don't have any other distractions or anything pulling you. It's all you the whole entire time. Like your focus on whatever it is you want to do. Go ahead, Art.
Well, I got two things, and I totally hear, and I would never challenge. Well, I would challenge, but I have to see the morning things. I'm not a morning person. Never have been. Never will be. But I can do the reverse and feel like I can do the same amount of work between 12 and 3 in the morning when everyone's sleeping.
Mhm.
So I think it's you got to find your time, but it has to be after when you feel everyone else is out of your way. So that's just one for me because I could never get up 5:30. I did it for like a week, and I was like, this is not for me. I can't do this ever again. Because I was tired by like afternoon. So that was one. But then I'm going to bring it back to you, Brett, and I'm going to give you a good challenge because you've been living life with older children. You're about to change your whole life cycle right now. When the baby comes in, that 5:30 may feel like 2 in the morning because of that shift change. So prepare yourself and think now about how you're going to maintain that and what your schedule will be and how you're going to partner with your future wife about keeping yourself on time for 5:30 to 8 because babies don't care if you're tired or not. And you know that from past.
I was gonna say I would be a little more worried if I hadn't been through this already. But and we'll get to that 'cause in a moment as well. But I think that first and foremost, if I learned anything from when Kellen was a baby, is that my schedule is the baby schedule. Now we'll try to figure it out a little bit. I may give them, a shot at that whole bedtime thing that you got going on, Art. I mean, I think you're amazing for it. But if that junk don't work within like the first, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 days of trying it,
Oh, at least a week.
yeah, I ain't got it for that, man. I feel like I'm gonna just be on the baby schedule. I'll sleep when he sleeps. I'll work when he's not working or whatever, and just kind of figure it out. Cause I tried it with Kellen and it was just too much of a hassle, man. I feel like I was working harder that way.
He broke you. That's all.
Hey, you got it, brother.
Man, that is the exactly he broke you because that's exactly what
Somebody
it
gotta lose that
is.
battle. You gotta figure out who's gonna lose.
Hey,
Period.
man,
Yeah, and
I'll
they are
lose
going to
that
try you.
one. I'll lose that one and win many down the road. But
Hey, then they ain't
So
gonna the
Sorry,
battle for the
I
war.
diverged that, but I thought about that and I was like, this is gonna be fun. I'll come
and
back to
then
this in 5 months and be how the 5
well, Chris kind of she feels a baby, obviously. And so she kind of gets that, he's more active at certain times. So it's sometimes between like 12 and 2, and then between like 4 and 6. So, we think that if it sticks to that, then that's right on schedule, man. We gonna be up together.
There you go.
Fingers crossed.
and it's really, you know, you're right, Art. It doesn't have to be 5 in the morning. Um, but when we talk about the noise, we are unconsciously conditioned to think about operating and doing task and work between the hours of 9 to 5
True.
Right.
because that's what's just pushed our entire lives. So in your psyche, it's there 9 to 5, 9 to 5. That's when work is done,
Yeah.
right? And if you operate within that 9 to 5, you're operating within the average life that they want you to live, right? So you got to find those other hours to be productive. Now, I'll tell you, whether it be 5 in the morning or it's midnight to whatever, you still got to get past the noise, and not the noise of your own mind. And it happens to me all the time. I'll wake up at 4:30 and my mind will tell me, well, no, in order to be optimal, you need to get 8 hours, so you should lie back down. Right? You got to get past that part, because if you don't get past it, then you lie back down, and then next thing you know, you're back in the rat race of, oh shoot, I gotta hurry up and get dressed and go to work, grab something to eat, blah blah blah, and that productive time is gone.
Yep.
But I'm with you, Art, on that piece because years ago I had to figure out that trade off and trying to get up in the morning, even though the kids were sleeping or whatever. When they were younger, getting up in the morning for me was not as productive. I got tasks done, but there were still things I couldn't. That time I was still in school. I was finishing up, going back to school and doing stuff. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on, and to get that work done for me, thinking, typing, doing that stuff, nada. Now I can get up and physically do stuff around the house and move around and get stuff done. But that wasn't still help me because I still had to stay up late at night to get the other things done. So just give myself a cutoff time, like literally. And I strictly remember when I made the thing, like, well, first it was organizing my work schedule to not do work and concentrate on family time.
Uh-huh.
But when they go to bed, when it was bedtime, and again, I had it with Gina and everything, like, look, I get my homework, even if I don't get done in that 9 to 5, that's shut off, and I don't pick it up again till 10 p.m.
Right.
From 10 p.m. till 2, I'll knock out any and everything you want me to do. I'll be focused to get done. I try to get those same tasks, even if it's for work. I would save stuff during the daytime because I knew I couldn't concentrate and focus, and knock it out. Start at like 11 o'clock and be done in 45 minutes. Where it would have took me a good 2 hours to focus and get it done because of all that noise during the workday. On top of that, then your personal stuff as well. So things I'm doing for the fraternity, things I'm doing for business, things I'm doing for whatever organization or whatever project I'm working on. My optimal time is then. I had to tell everybody, look, you're gonna receive emails from me probably between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. Just wait till the next day to respond. I'm just working at my optimal time to get stuff done. I don't expect a response. But again, when you whatever time you function in, but you said you start going to bed about 10, 11 o'clock, probably at the latest for you, Brett, right now. If you could do that, God bless you. Because even if I don't have it much to do, like my mind won't let me rest because it's always saying you got something else to do. There's always something to do. There's always something to do. That's a personal fault I'm getting over.
What are you doing? What are you doing to help shut that down?
I don't know what to do because no matter what I try to do, I'm always thinking about something. There's always something else that can get done. So this last 2 weeks of me not working, like literally, it was a struggle not to pick up the computer and just work on stuff. I had to tell myself leave it unplugged. In fact, I let it go dead so it wouldn't be charged.
Yo, in the words of the great Noriega, you gotta relax, man. Take it easy, kid. Like,
But I'm not. I'm not
I
stressed.
know it ain't about stress though. It's about and again getting back into the Tao and the neutrality that it's not about saying you're stressed or trying to put any of that on you, but it is about the understanding and the ability to put yourself at when it's time to work, I work, and when it's not time to work, I enjoy it. You know what I mean? And being able to work that consistency. I think it was a good segue because mine was I'm gonna put myself first this year. Not to say that I'm not gonna, still do the shit that I do, but I need to work on making sure intently focus on, going hard for myself first and foremost. But as all of us were going through, hey, some of us can do the 5:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock. Some of us have to do it at night. It's about finding your optimal time to be, to work the system and understand, like, get out of another conversation I had with my mom last year was get out of the trap of, oh, it's got to be 9 to 5, or and it's only for I'm working for the weekend and I'm doing like, yo, man, all of this time and days and it's BS. Just accomplish, do, understand, and like go through. Stop allowing these false compartments and barriers to put your mind and your progress in places that it doesn't need to be.
I'm finding it. I listened to last week's podcast twice while I watched it because I'm a YouTuber. And shout out to those who watch us. If you listen to us now, swing over to the video and see us. But I still haven't found the one thing that I want to focus on. I like the consistency thing you said, Brent, about just consistency and having it going and doing this, nonstop. But I haven't found anything yet. That's the thing I want to work on. For me, we'll see how the year plays out or how the month plays out. But I think it's just right now. It's just
don't don't necessarily think of it as work on as much as focus on. You know what I mean? Even if it's something as simple as family or self or work or whatever it is. You know what I mean? In making that thought of focus, it doesn't mean that you're putting anything else to the wayside, but just saying like, yo, consciously, I'm gonna make sure that like, yo, I'm going hard at this or that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe just that little change of thought will help bring something more to the forefront.
I gotta find it. I gotta find it. We'll see. I'll keep you up to date on
Listen, think about it. The goal is, what is the one thing that will be the most impactful,
For you,
right? Say what?
the one thing that's going to be the most impactful for you individually.
Yeah, for you individually to work on. What is going to be the most impactful thing that will have the most carryover to everything else that you want to do?
Hmm.
So don't focus on everything. Focus on the one thing that'll be the most impactful to everything else.
So to you, BJ, because Chris struggles with this same thing, like mind always turning, always working. And what I suggested to her was you don't necessarily have to like just shut everything out and just lay here with yourself. But what you occupy that time with is just as important. So, like for her, she started getting into different books about like chakras and meditation and spirituality, like using that same time where you would be up working on whatever task work you got to to do something else that's you're interested in. So, I would say whatever that other thing might be that's not necessarily task oriented, but that'll allow you to bring your vibration into a more mellow state, not necessarily turn you all the way off where you just can fall out, but just let you kind of get to that even keel or mellow vibration.
We about to send BJ the instant rapper kit. Go ahead and let you start working on your album, dog.
Sorry, y'all ain't hear the door. I don't know if y'all heard the door slam or what that
We
was.
saw you.
You on mute.
God, who gonna buy a door if that break? But no,
I tell you. That is
yeah,
yes.
what I'm staying up worried about tonight. But nah, on a serious note, like nah, I get it, and I understand all that. Is a lot of times though, it is even hard to express because my mind doesn't shut off, and that's the thing. Everybody like I had many people just say like, yeah, you need to medicate that. I'm like, nah, that's not what it is.
Medicated.
And they don't mean medicate. They mean recreational medicate.
I get it.
So
Hey, I concur with that, doctor. But
Man, listen,
but even that though,
I'm going to tell you that doesn't shut everybody's mind.
it won't. You might you'll find yourself even more anxious or even more paranoid, and it'll be even worse than it was before you started.
one thing,
Going even deeper into what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go down that road because
either way,
there's many theories out there what I would be like either high or drunk, and we're not gonna go down either one of those roads. So it don't
either
even matter.
way, I'm without medication, you either way you still need to start trying new things in those moments and trying them for periods to try to find something that works and helps
I just
ultimately.
I get it. I just go until I pass out. That's my main thing, and that's
But
why.
you got it. But that is not the key. That's the point I'm trying to make, sir. Is like I understand and have seen and we know what you do, and I'm trying to let you know and understand and hope it penetrates your skull. The fact that like, bro, even though you want to keep on, hey man, yeah, I hear this all the time, but I still just go ahead and and do the same shit. Like, yo, seriously, you need to start working and taking time
Yeah,
for BJ to figure out something like, and I'm not saying you got to try trees by no means, but I'm saying like, yo, give some different things a try, even if it's meditation or it's
You
yoga
gotta
or it's bike riding again or it's whatever. Like, start to think about it and actually seriously, like, yo, give yourself some time to work on those things. In the long
Or,
run, it will be very good for you.
I mean, there's melatonin. There's all types of things that there are.
Okay, yeah, natural. Even
Yeah,
though trees natural too.
treating that.
I was waiting for that one.
Um, I mean, maybe some type of CBD supplement that's not, there's no
Or you can get
Yeah, there's no
diamonds,
medicinal.
refill,
right.
like
There's no
Yeah,
that's all.
something.
But
Or like they said, start reading books. If I want to go to sleep real quick, just pick up a book late at night. I'll be out, gone. And it's
you
really
got
just to take your mind off of all the things, and that moment that your mind gets off and just, oh, this is just recreation. Oh, I'm out.
You gotta, BJ. Do you? I think for me, I find it easy because once I get into bed, I've always been trained that in bed is sleep. There's no like TV comes on for 10 seconds, I'm out. What happens when you finally leave the computer and hop in bed? Is it okay? Let me keep working on the computer, or is it like
No, I don't take my computer.
okay, it's just not it's just bed and sleep?
Just I can't sleep. I'll sit there and just stare at the ceiling in darkness for like an hour.
The glasses on or off?
Oh,
You can't see nothing.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm just sitting
that's
there.
why. That's exactly
Hey.
why you can't. What you need to do is keep your glasses on because you can't
Yeah,
see the
because you're
sheep.
paranoid.
You can't see the sheep. You're supposed to be counting. That's what's going on.
look, so this is where your advocates come into play. So we just gonna keep throwing stuff at BJ until we find something that sticks. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? For the rest of the
People,
years.
world, we want you to help throw some things that you, if you see that you've had some issues getting your brain shut down and anything that you've found that works for you, go ahead and throw some of those in the comments or send us an
And we
email or
know,
talk
and
to
we
us
know
on
y'all
Facebook.
love BJ, so the comments gonna light up
Yes,
first time ever.
yes. Mom, you can reiterate whatever you've told him a couple times. We'd
Oh, she's
appreciate
probably
that.
like, yes, y'all tell them.
No, let me tell y'all. So mom hears about stuff firsthand. I forgot I made that comment about getting pulled over here and didn't tell her. So trust me, when she
Ooh. Ooh.
So you was
love your
driving,
mama.
huh?
Damn, try
Why did I have to hear this on the podcast?
I know that's right.
Love your mama. Sorry about that, but
We all love you.
Yep.
we get there's some things that I learned over the years that I don't want you up stressing at nighttime. So I don't share things nowadays. A couple of those things.
Listen, she watching on YouTube, all she said was, mm-hmm.
Wait till Sunday when we discuss this.
Uh-huh. Big
Oh
Absolutely.
man.
That's hilarious.
But again, and thinking about the challenge Kate put out there last week, it really was that whole looking back at this 2021, that realization, and we've talked about it many times, that purpose versus platform,
Yep.
being unhappy with what's going on, and taking my own advice about other people. Once you realize that, making a change, but I wasn't making changes for myself. All right, so for me, it really is being intentional about um, sharing my purpose with the world and the platform I'm choosing to do it in, and that there may need to be some changes there. So I think that's a lot of the frustration I'm feeling probably over the last 3 to 4 months, outside of everything, all the other stuff going on in the world. But personally, inside, that's where the built up, like
You know what else?
in my entire career, I've never been frustrated with getting up and going to work. That's one way to put it. I've never, in 15 years of education, there hasn't been one day where I can say I question, was this really the right platform? And it wasn't because of the field, it was because of the actual task and work being done. And that's when I knew it's like time to make changes. So that's why I've been hearing stuff lately about changes.
Mm, that's good.
You were
Yeah.
gonna say
Love it.
something, Brett?
Thought you were gonna say something, but I was
Nah,
gonna.
between you and Art, one of y'all was gonna say something. So
No, yeah, I was like, that's pretty awesome because I think every 3 years or so I get that I'm done kind of mindset, but then it changes, the job changes, so it gets good again. Never want. I always feel like I'm in the right spot to be with people. This is why this year has been so hard because I haven't got to be with people more than I am normally is, and not even like ownership and order people, like the team, the
Yeah,
workers.
nah, you are the BFBG,
Mhm.
man. Like,
I want to
yo,
For a reason.
that's been tough, and I've been seeing a lot of things that are like, it doesn't make any sense because you're sitting back now, observing the entire picture versus being in my little box of world of no people. So yeah, well, we'll see what 2021 has to offer. I can tell you one thing: I better get in the store real soon.
mm, um,
Y'all heard that?
big facts, Jamba. Your time is numbered. I was
Hey,
gonna
listen,
say that is definitely one key point to listen to in your life. It is if it's a struggle to wake up and get to your job. That's when you really need to start making some choices and strategically plotting on making a move. But then also just the how good is your company if you are working for someone else that they are able to keep you motivated and provide you with the opportunity for advancement or that change that keeps you ignited in wanting to succeed in that company as opposed to being like what I need to move on to somewhere else because I've gotten stagnant.
Yeah.
and and I tell you what, when you get there, having people that say that they're happy to see you, and then you don't feel
Uh
like there's anybody that you want to tell I'm happy to see you.
Big facts. Big facts.
Yeah,
Makes a huge difference. Listen,
trust me, they're gonna be happy to see the next person that comes after you too.
oh
exactly.
yeah, oh yeah. The machine will keep going. The machine will keep going.
So BJ, how often do you write down or get out those things that are just swirling around in your head? Like, does it just always stay there?
Ah, journaling. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't write. No.
Yeah, because
Have
that's
you
one
ever
of the.
tried?
Yeah, a while ago. But I don't I don't write complete thoughts. Like it's hard for me to get everything out.
They're
Uh,
not complete thoughts in your brain because if they were complete thoughts, you would stop thinking about them because you would know
Yep.
exactly what you needed to
And
do.
that's why it's okay. I don't me I can't I've never I ain't gonna lie I've never journaled, so I'm just coming to it at a space of I can clear my head very easily though.
Medicinals.
Even without medicinals, I've come to a space again going back to the Tao of that understanding where it's for sanity, you have to be able to know and understand that the most powerful muscle you have in your body, you have to figure out how to start commanding it and working it. And it is a value and an asset to be able to both understand when everything has to I gotta get into work mode, I can work, but also to like, enjoy there is no true necessity right now. Enjoy the moment. Just enjoy whatever it is that you want to, even if it's just watching TV, your favorite show, listen to a song, playing with whatever little device. Like, enjoy this moment. Go ahead and do it. It's okay. And being able to do that. But back to journaling, um, I think you not getting out your complete thoughts is what you need is that continuous motion of being able to get out that chicken scratch to progress it into getting you to where you're fully being able to process what you want and can start really allowing them to escape you because you're actually like Carol was just saying you're in your head they're the same way and that's why they keep on revolving.
Procrastination is not a problem; it's a skill.
Prince of procrastination up here, baby.
Yeah, think about that. The people who can do it well can rock it out, and those who can't fail dramatically.
I'm not sure how we got there, but
No, we're talking about BJ's mindset. He said everyone's like he's always thinking, and it's not about he's not getting it done. He's journaling, but sometimes it's about being able to disconnect your mindset and just turn it off and say, "I'll get to it later on." By procrastinating, but you're not actually procrastinating it. You're putting it in a set of skills. There's a set of what I'll take care of, what's more important, and what needs to be done today and now. You can turn it off and say, "Well, it's not now. It's tomorrow. It's next week. It's 2 days ago. It's going to be heavy when the time comes. But for now, I need me, so I can procrastinate. It's a skill you got to have because it's hard to do that skill and not think about the consequence. So it's a skill, not a problem.
okay,
Okay.
I understand now what you were doing.
hold on to that because we're gonna come to you, in a minute for Arts Corner. We got to get fresh ovation in before we get there. But BJ, to the journaling effect, I definitely think it would be good, and not necessarily writing either, because I can't. One, we may not have a pen and paper or whatever with you at all times, but I just started like voice recording. Um, Thoughts randomly, and it's because I got to get it when I have it, because that's when, like, that's the magic moment, like that's the lightning in the bottle. And half the time, I feel like, okay, these are some great thoughts, or maybe some great conversation starters, and if I wait till I get to a pencil and a piece of paper, I done forgot what it ever was. And if you're trying to figure out how to wind down, who knows what just hashing out what that thought might take you through. And it may start off as just a thought, and then you fleshed it out and you're like, oh, okay, I feel pretty good about that. And you set yourself at ease, unless you start thinking about the other 20 things. But I definitely think that might be a good place to start.
Heard and noted. I'll maybe see what route seems to be easiest. Again, I don't. I mean, I would purchase or figure out how to keep the pen or paper near or whatever, but the voice recorder sounds more my style. At that moment, in the moment, just capture it and move on with it. But I just got a feeling that once that's out, something else is gonna come back in. But I'm not gonna speak that into existence. So half the
Just
time,
try.
half
Don't
the time, what I'm
overthink it.
doing is I'm thinking about all the stuff that I just needed that I want to do. For instance, the other night I'm sitting there thinking about, I'm mapping out, okay, what we was talking about for automation stuff. I'm mapping out my head like visually, like, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work, because what if this happened? This happened, like in my head, but then I wrote it down on paper, and the next day, like to try to script that out and stuff. But it's always something that's there. Jesus.
Well, so the same thing about getting up and going to work. What you're talking about is another sign. There's something occupying the time of the things that you should get done, right? And because of that shift, you know that this other thing is priority and it deserves attention, but there's something else taking up that block of time that you could push it up earlier so that your mind will be empty later on.
That's fair. I totally agree with that one. Yeah.
There it is. Fresh ovation, you up, man? You ready to go?
Hey, real quick before we go to fresh ovation though, and it still involves fresh. Hey sis, how you doing? I saw you on Gram. I saw you on Facebook. Just wanted to say what's up. We started out the new year, seeing you and everything. So wanted to just say
Y'all are so kind. Well, K, you are so kind.
Yeah, that's
And we're bringing it back to the fresh ovation for this week. Fresh, what you got
we
for
just
us?
threw him
I'm
off.
about to
Just threw
say
all his energy out.
that is quite a segue.
The Dow, baby. Channel the
Anyway,
Dow.
exactly. Stay focused, staying neutral,
What's her name,
not
man?
worrying
So I can
about
stop calling
a
her
daggone
sis.
thing. Amani,
Amani.
Amani. I told you that last week or the
I
week
didn't remember
before.
it. I
I
didn't want to
did.
bring it up again. Amani. Got it. Hey,
It's all
Amani.
good. You still did. um.
That's
All
cool. We
right.
love
Here
it
we
though.
go. Today I choose me. I am worthy of infinite compassion. I feel profound empathy and love for others in their own unique paths. I choose to stop apologizing for being me. I am at peace with all that has happened in my life. My life is filled with joy and abundance. Happiness flows from me. Um, just like I was saying this year, based off of the good 20-1 odds that Coach K went ahead and put out there, put me first. But at the same time, recognizing, and being okay with all that has been and will be, like being able to settle into the enjoyment of life that is happening around me, and knowing that all that is happening is supposed to happen, and to be okay and settled in that, knowing that I've been made to analyze and get through any situation that comes before me, and to just go ahead and ride this wave, and hopefully provide and push that energy out to all those that I encounter. And that's Preservation 2021. It's been
Preservation, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. All right, we coming to you, man, for the corner, man. What you got for this week for the people?
Man, this week's corner is it has some sunshine, but then I had to close the blinds, so I don't want to get invaded. So I'm gonna have to circle back to the thought I originally had when I started the year. I was talking with EJ about this and a couple of our friends. The credit card point hacking, which is pretty awesome thing. If you're not doing this already, you got to be smart with it. You have to make sure you're treating it like a checking account. But if you are a traveler, if you are love hotels, love doing things, there are several cards. Look at your credit cards you have in your wallet, look at your debit cards, and make sure those cards are working for you. For instance, not a sponsor, but the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. It costs about 450 a year. But if you're properly doing it and you're using it to pay all of your bills or pay, electricity or travel or groceries, whatever it may be, and you're treating it as a checking account card, you actually can get a lot out of it and travel the world at their expense. But it takes diligence and it takes you making sure that you don't spend more than you have in your account. It has to be that way for it to work. Because there are many people who are making that ability for you to fly or travel hotel because they're holding that balance. And that APR of 16 to 22.9% is no joke. You can't get that on a stock market. Well, you could if you got in the right stock, but normally on average, you can't get that back by investing. So if you're using credit cards, look at all of them. Look what you have in your wallets. Check it out and see, because the ability to have one card to use for everything and paying it off at the end of the month can take you places you couldn't have thought you could go on your own. And go out and see. American Express has a great one. I think Capital One has one, and then Chase. So great cards to look at and see. But don't close the current cards you have because your credit worthiness is based upon age of credit too. So keep one account. If it's Netflix, if it's HBO Max, wherever you have, keep one charge there monthly to keep that card open as you open that other new card for now all your new purchases. But disclaimer, you have to make sure you pay that off before the end of the month. There's no reason to pay interest on something you already have in your bank account.
Yeah. Good advice. Great advice. That
Ladies and gentlemen,
discipline.
a great place for you to use that credit card is at mycooltshirts.com, where you can get any t-shirt and any saying that we've said here that you thought, man, that was a really good saying that they had there on the 13th floor. You can find it on mycooltshirts.com.
Carol Cadillo, ladies and gentlemen. Coach K, always on time. Go ahead and close us out, sir.
Oh man, I don't get thought I was gonna get the segue to the thing, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
He played you.
All right, he did. He did. That's all right. Just knocking off the rust. It's okay. Listen, as Brett said, if you are in a rut, or let me put it this way, if you were on the right track prior to the events of January 6th, and now all of a sudden you are off track, go back and listen to episode number 180, because you probably need to do a 180 right about now and get back to where you were before all the noise happened. Because what happened was in 2020, as I said, we got focused. And that's why it was a great year, because we got focused and we realized what was real, what was true. And we went into 2021 with a very focused mind, and there was no noise, there was nothing. And then something intentionally happened where they said, we're going to put a bunch of noise out there for you all to be distracted and for you to think about and to already forget about the goals that you made and the focus that you were coming into this thing with. So I'm going to ask you to backtrack, get back, focus, get rid of the noise, right? Quiet down the sections if they're not working for you, and move forward with the music that you want to play or the song that you want to hear. Mm-hmm. That is the key, right? And listen, for my people, brown, black folks, This don't have nothing to do with us. This ain't our fight. This is not our fight. So what I'm gonna tell you is stand down and stand by. That's what you need to do.
You supposed to rap that, Brett. That was it, boy. He gave you the. As soon as he said stand back, that's the end of the show. Wrap it up. Views are amazing.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. We done here on the 13th floor where the furniture isn't always the best, but the views are
It's a 13th floor, y'all. It's a 13th floor, y'all.